We live in an age where things are designed to make life easier, right? But what if those conveniences, they're quietly limiting our fitness and our mobility? Somebody brought that to my attention the other day. I really didn't give it much thought. And so I started man, I got a podcast on how modern conveniences like sitting for long periods might be more harmful than we think. I think it was, I had a trainer the other day that had said sitting is the new smoking as far as an unhealthy habit. And I thought, wow, that was heavy. And that was really spot on, right? But it's something I hadn't thought of before. So before we get into all this great stuff, I want to say if you are looking to boost your energy, stay on track with your fitness, totally head over to talktoperry.com. I'm going to pop that down in the lower third there. Oh, there's a text. I see it. My calendar is wide open for podcast viewers, and let's get you started on a path that truly works so that you can boost really recharge your mental and your physical battery and reclaim your power. Talktoperry.com. So think about it. How much do we sit during the day? We're working at a desk, we're relaxing on a couch. For me, I was embracing the laptop lifestyle is what I was thinking. How much do we sit and just even scroll on social media? And that sitting, it might be it might seem harmless, I guess, but when you actually think about it, it's one of the biggest threats to our mobility. I'm looking around at friends and family and coworkers and just thinking about how just even in recent years, the mobility has gotten more and more restricted. And I'm thinking, why is that? I think it's easy to say, well, it's old age. Well, it's, just things aren't the way they used to be. But it might be these little conveniences that we have around. Like when we sit too much, our muscles become weaker. And I know we don't think about it, but it's just like because we need to relax. We need to unwind. We'll talk ourselves into it. But muscles become weaker. The joints stiffen. Overall mobility declines. And it's like we're training our bodies to be less mobile. And I've been doing a kind of an exercise program for the past few weeks, or actually a couple of months now, where mobility and primal movements are really integrated within it. And I am noticing where I've kind of gotten out of balance, out of sequence, less mobile as a result of probably too much sitting. Even though I'm an active person, even though I do exercise every day, it's really evident in some of those things that you try to do that you're like, whoa, there's an eye opener. But it's not just sitting. Modern conveniences, think elevators, escalators, remote controls even, all designed they're designed to save us time, save us effort, but they're shortcuts that rob us of natural movement. And that's essential for keeping our bodies strong and flexible. Our bodies were meant to move, right? And the less we move, the more we lose our ability to move well. Now, a lot of us can say, well, I feel like I've drifted off course so much getting back to it. And that's been real evident to me where as I'm going through and doing these movements, I'm realizing where I'm locked up in my hips. I'm locked up in a little bit of the knees. I go to bend down or go to do something, and I was like, whoa, the back's a little bit stiff. But just in my experience in the past 20 years of movement, it really, with consistency and just showing up and not needing to spend a ton of time, you can start to reverse some of these things and really get back into the motion and into the mobility. And it significantly not only impacts your mobility, but it's impacting your energy and your mindset and how you go about your day. And it's just making those small adjustments, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator. I know it might seem like, oh, the elevator's so much faster. It's right there and the stairs are way over there. We'll create a story around it, right? But when I started doing those things, I began to see, and I'm not saying I don't take the elevator from time to time, but when you start to make those choices, you begin to see not only improvements in your fitness, but your overall well-being. So while the big takeaway here, while the modern conveniences, it can make life easier, I'm not trying to diss that, it's just being aware of the unseen limits on our physical health. And by becoming more mindful of how we use those conveniences and then choosing to move more, being diligent, even if you're doing some exercise routines that create more range of motion, more of movement, and it doesn't have to take a ton of time each day, and making those other lifestyle choices, we can break free from the limits and reclaim our fitness mobility. And those small changes, they can add up, make a big difference in how we move and how we feel each and every day. But just know, we could choose to use our power and take control and do these things, or we can dismiss, the opportunities right in front of us and let excuses, justifications, rationalizations, we negotiate with ourselves, we compare ourselves. We can let those things control us and drain our own power. It really boils down to deciding and committing to yourself and your fitness, and then choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, looking at the opportunities I just shared here, and learning and growing and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. You can drop those down in the comments. I promise I will respond. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness Community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to UpsideDownFit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find the show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.